Hello everyone, in this video I will talk about how to develop NEP-17 token for the Neo3 blockchain using Python. So here are the topics that I will be talking about in this video. First I will talk about Neo3 BOA, which is a tool that can be used to generate smart contracts for the Neo3 blockchain using Python. It simply takes the .py file from Python and then it compiles it to make the .NET and .json file needed to deploy the smart contract on the Neo3 blockchain. I will briefly show you how to install Neo3 BOA and how to use it. Then I'll talk about the neo-cli, which is a tool that can be used to deploy the smart contracts that we have made onto the Neo3 blockchain. I will talk about how to install neo-cli and then how to use it and then how to deploy your smart contract onto the neo3 blockchain. I will also include some of the resources that can be helpful for you to deploy your own smart contracts or NEP-17 tokens or NEP-11 tokens onto the neo3 blockchain. So first of all, let's talk about Neo3 BOA. We can go to their GitHub or we can also go to their documentation, which is a great way to start learning about how to write the Python code to develop the smart contracts. So let's go to their website or documentation, and from there we can find out that the simplest way to install Neo3 BOA is using the pip install, and once we have done that we can write out the smart contracts and then compile them using Neo3 BOA. So I will you can see my previous video for which I have included the link here. You can simply go to that video, and in the first half of the video I tell in great detail that how you can install Neo3 BOA. And then I'll go back again to the documentation of Neo3 BOA, and there they have also a lot of tutorials that can be used to start your token development or your smart contract development. So here is an example of NEP-17 token, and then you can simply take this code and then start developing your own token. So let's go back to the slides. And so here we first need a .py file that contains all the information that we want to have for the NEP-17 token. And once we have that .py file, we can use Neo3 BOA to compile the .py file to get the .NEF and .json files. So these two files are required to deploy a smart contract on the Neo3 blockchain. So let's go and make a .py file. So I'll go to my terminal, and here I have made one file that can be used to generate the .NEF and .json file. So let's look into this file. So first of all, these are some of the imports that we have to do, and then I provided my address or neo3 address, which is stored in the constant or the global variable owner. Then we have to provide the symbol we want to use for our token, and in this case I'm using the symbol fin. And then we have to find out define the token decimals, which is simply how many decimals we want in our token, and then the total token supply. So in this case I've capped the supply at 100, so this means that only 100 tokens of this fin token will be available when we deploy the smart contract. And then these are some of the methods that we have, that we can invoke the symbol method to get the token symbol and token decimals and token supply. So these are the methods. You can look into that tutorial and then find out that how exactly they work. And then there is this transfer method that can be used to transfer this token from one wallet into the second wallet. So this is a simple Python code that you can go through line by line and then understand what exactly is being done there, but here I made a small tweak. So when we are transferring the tokens from the to address, we take the tokens from the from address and we transfer those tokens from the from address to the to address. So when they are being transferred to the to address, we take we subtract the amount from the from address. However, when we are transferring them to the to address, we are simply doubling them. So this is a new token, or a special kind of token that simply doubles when you transfer from one address to the second address. So this is something new, or something I've tweaked from the source code that I got. And then we have also included this deploy method, and this method simply deploys this, or simply mints the total supply of this token and puts that into the wallet of the owner, which is in this case myself. So so it simply puts all the tokens into the wallet of the owner, and the amount would be total token supply. So that, yeah, and then here you can include all the details you want to include in that token. So I have given my name as the author, and then also given my email ID and the version and the date of creation. So this was a brief overview of the .py file that you need to prepare or to make your .nef and .json files. So once you have your .py files, you can compile using neo3 boa. So you simply have to write neo3 boa and final.py, and then it will compile the .py file and create the .nef and the .json files for you. So it is doing that process, and once, and we can look that we have the .json file and the .nef file over here. So these are the two files that we needed. So this was the first part where we compiled the .py files to get the files that we want for the token deployment. So I'll go back to the slides. So the first part is done. So in the second part, we have to use these files, these JSON and .NET files, to deploy our token on the Neo3 blockchain. So for that, let's go to this documentation of NeoCli. We can use NeoCli to deploy our tokens onto the blockchain. So let's go to the documentation, and so this, and also you can look into how to install NeoCli. So I have done the installation of NeoCli on a Windows machine, and it was fairly straightforward. You simply have to go through all these, not these, but these details, and then you can get your installation of NeoCli. So these are 2 pages of details that you have to go through, and once you have done that, you will have your NeoCli installed, and then you can uh, invoke your NeoCli through the command prompt of Windows. So I will first open the command prompt, and I will go to the directory where I've stored my files for the NeoCli. Okay, yeah, so this is a folder from where we need to launch our NeoCli. So for that, we you have to use this command, and once we execute this, we can launch the NeoCli, and you can see that I have this Neo written in green over here. And once we have that, this means that the NeoCli is working. And then there are several commands that you can use. So the first command that I would use is to open my wallet, and I have stored my wallet in a JSON file in this folder. So you can simply create your uh, wallet.json file from the new GUI. It's fairly straightforward, and once you have that, you can simply link that JSON file to this neo-CLI. So I first had a Neoline account from where I got my private keys, and once I had the private keys, I used the neo GUI to create a JSON file for my wallet. So I will open my wallet using this, and it will ask me for my password, which I'll put, and then it's done. So we can see that what are the assets we have in this address. So this is the testnet. This is the testnet. So we have 186 neo and 57.82 gas tokens, and we have the neo hash and the gas hash, and also the address of my account. So now uh, we have the neo CLI working, and now we need to deploy our .nef and .json file. So for that, we can go down, and we can see that the commands we need to execute to deploy our token. So that's simply deploy, and then it asks for the nef file path and the .json file or the manifest file. So let me put the path. Mm, yeah, so this was the terminal from my laptop, but we still need the whole path. So project slash, yes, and now we have to put the name of the .nef file. So that is final underscore one dot nef, and the second one should be the JSON file. Final one. I will just copy the name from this, and then so it's simply the command for deploying is simply deploy the name and the path of the .nef file, and the name and the path of the .json file. And once we do that, it asks for a fee of 10.011 gas and also some of the network fee. So in total, that's 10.015 gas. So we say yes, we want to deploy it, and now we have this taxation hash, and our token is deployed on the Neo3 blockchain testnet. So let's go onto the testnet to see if how how it looks. So for that, we first need to go to Dora, and we need to go to the testnet, and there we can search our contract hash or the script hash, and it will say that yeah, so it has all the information regarding our token, and it also shows that how much of the gas fee was used. And so we have minted 100 tokens for our NEP-17 token. And let's now look at my wallet. If I've received, so I started with 57.8 gas tokens, and we used around 10 tokens, so we have 47.8 gas tokens, and now we have 100 fin because the name of the token was fin. So we have now 100 fin tokens. So that's how you can deploy. So let's also try to see in Neoline if we can find this token. You have to go to testnet. Yeah, so here we see that we have 100 fin tokens, and now let's test the cool thing that we tried with this token, that if you send someone, they will receive double the amount. So I have this second address to which we can send this token. So we can send this using Neoline, or we can also send this using command line, but here for the sake of brevity, I will use Neoline. So we can transfer to this address. We have a balance of 100 fin, and we are going to transfer 20 fins from a balance of 100 fins, and let's pay for the gas. So the transaction is submitted. So here is our original account where we had 100 fin tokens, and now we have transferred 20. So let's see how many we have left. Let me check. The transaction should have gone through, but it's taking some time. Yeah, so now we have 80 fins. I will refresh this page. So now we have 80 fins in the owner account, and let's check how many fins, how many fin tokens the second address received after we sent it 20 fin tokens. So it should have received 40 because we are simply doubling the amount. So yeah, so right, we can see here, right here, that we have 40 fin tokens in the second account. So that's a great example to see that how to deploy your token on the Neo3 blockchain, and then you can also have your special functionalities in the token that it can double or it can burn some of the tokens when it is transferred from one wallet to the second wallet. So that was the example, and you can also look at various commands in this NeoCli page that you can use, that you can also use the send command that you can use. From that you can send tokens from NeoCli from one address to another. So yeah, so that's how you can deploy your NEP-17 tokens onto the Neo3 blockchain. And here are the references that I want to include in the video that can help you to create your own NEP-17 token. So first of all, you can look into the documentation of Neo3 BOA. That is really cool because that helps us to use Python to generate the .NEF and .json files. And you can also look into the documentation of NEOCLI, which is really great to deploy your smart contracts and NEP-17 tokens. You can also go to the Neo Discord group. That really helped me a lot because I had a lot of questions. So I simply asked in the dev channel, and they helped me a lot. And all of these files are available at this link. I will also include this link in the description of the video so that you can simply go to that link and download this whole these slides and also the codes that you will need to deploy your NEP-17 tokens. And I would like to thank Fireche, who is the lead developer for the NeoCandy project, and you can join the Discord of NeoCandy using this link. And he has set up a NeoCandy bounty for people who want to spread word about Neo 3. So that's why I'm making this video. I also want to thank AIIMT, who is the founder of Skyhead, and Edge and Hall from the Neo Discord, because they helped me with my doubts regarding Neo 3 or development in Neo 3. So with that, I'm going to end my video. If you have any questions or if you have any suggestions, please comment down below. Thank you.